As families head back to school, it's easy to think of the school supplies or, add the item to the shopping list. But those crayons, folders, calculators, backpacks, they have a much bigger impact than we know and realize. Research shows that having the tools kids need doesn't just help them complete assignments, it can affect confidence, focus, stress levels, and even their willingness to participate in class. Especially that last one, makes sense. 9 News parenting expert Dr. Cheryl Ziegler is joining us now.
And this is why, because school supplies, when you're donating and giving, are relatively cheap compared to writing a check or something, it can make such a difference. People will hear this and say, yeah, of course, if you don't have a backpack or the right supplies, of course it's going to affect you. But it's deeper than that. Tell us how.
Yeah, I mean, kids, first of all, kids know, they know that they have that confidence based off of what they have and what they don't have. And they're constantly comparing, right? So just start off with that, knowing that, oh man, I don't have this. Then they get there, and if they have any kind of neurodiversity, ADHD or anything else, it's like taking a tool away from them. They need those things to be organized, to participate. And it's kind of like you're saying, what we look at the research, they're less likely over the days to come when they don't have all of the right supplies to raise their hands less. They want to go unnoticed. They don't want, the worst thing, right, is to be called out like, okay, Kim, you read next, right? It was always that feeling of, I don't want to go next. Well, for them, it might be, I don't have this, or I don't have the highlighters to use for the text, or whatever it might be. So it really does start off with, yes, there's contrast and comparing, but then it's also just functional for them as well. And so the confidence goes down and the engagement in school goes down.
Makes perfect sense. So, and no matter the age, it has an emotional impact, does it not, on their well-being?
Absolutely. It's very stressful to know that you're walking in somewhere, you're not prepared.
Yeah.
Why aren't you prepared?
It's like going to a work thing and you don't think you're prepared for something.
Right. Absolutely. And so to feel that every day, and then not only to feel like you're not prepared, but you think everyone else around you is. Everybody else. Why is everybody else prepared and not me? And so I think it's really important that anything we can do to help share supplies, to help with programs that just give, it doesn't have to be the best color, the best name brand, it doesn't have to be any name brand, just the basic supplies so kids can walk in being their best selves and feeling like they are prepared. It's something, as far as communities go, it's something we can really do that makes a huge difference.
You point out something that I wasn't thinking about when we started talking about this, that kids don't want to stand out in any way. They just, at that age, in elementary school or wherever they are, they just really don't want to stand out in any way. But I would imagine this affects kids differently depending on the child.
Absolutely. I mean, there might be a kid, again, if they have any executive functioning issues, they really need their tools and supplies. If they have ADHD, they really need, maybe something to keep them organized. Like, there's all of these tools that we take for granted, they really serve a purpose. Folders are part of organization. It's not just where you stuff a bunch of papers. It's an organizational system. So I think a lot of times when we think about this topic, we take for granted that there's a functional purpose for all of these supplies, and that without them, kids feel like they don't have the tools to be successful. And if you believe that long enough, you start to create a story about yourself. I'm not good enough. I don't know enough. And that's what the huge concern is there's many, many kids that are so bright. If they just had the right tools, they could really shine. But without them, they want to get small, they want to get quiet, and then they start missing assignments. That's what the research shows, that, well, they start not turning things in and they start not taking notes and missing assignments because of these things. But it usually goes very quiet. They don't say anything. They're not raising their hands to say, right? So these are all these subtleties, and they can add up.
Well, it's so important we talk about this because parents obviously are, if they're financially in trouble, that's heartbreaking for them. But teachers see this, and teachers often step in with their own money, and it's never enough. So 9 News is helping you help them get ready for back to school. We're partnering with Mile High United Way on the 9 News School Supply Drive. Our goal is to raise $50,000 to help get kids what they need to succeed in the classroom. The average back to school list can cost more than $100. That drive runs through August 2nd. Just scan that QR code on your screen and you can donate. Thank you, Dr. Ziegler.
Thanks for having me.